Hello everybody, Thursday, May 15th, 2025. It is time for Off the Ledge. I hope you woke up optimistic. And I know probably a lot of you are like, what are you, nuts? To consider such a thing? No, we have to be optimistic. And things are as bad as they are from a kind of divine intelligence perspective. This is one aspect of it. It's reached the level of pathos that's unignorable. So what we're experiencing in the United States of America right now is the epitome of an idiocracy and pathos. Not to mention inhumane behavior. It's peaking out. P-E-A-K-I-N-G. It's peaking out. It's reached a critical point, an undeniable level of insanity. Let's just, if you want any more convincing, you can just go to any one of these hearings. The Democrats grilling Kristi Noem, RFK Jr., Kash Patel, the whole slew of them. Every single one represents probably to you and I the most despicable, disgusting demonstration of what a human being can be. You can tell I'm all fired up. As you know, if you're really paying attention, I love that protest sign. If you're not mad as hell, you're not paying attention. And what's happening right now is forcing the United States of America to pay attention. Because if we do not, and if we do not on a massive level engage and activate, we'll only have ourselves to blame. That's not a lecture, it's an observation. And I am included in that 150%. It's on me and it's on you to activate. So thank you for hearing me out. I know you feel the same way. I do. Or you wouldn't be here. So Earnest Homes for today, May 15th, starts with, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?" In other words, that's from the book of Psalms. In other words, when we align with the divine intelligence, we are ever so powerful. Collectively, especially. We tune out all dull negative ideas and we tune in with the sunshine of life, with brightness and laughter, with the joyous presence that is life itself. We know that all the beauty of form around us is the garment of God. We know that presence that is manifested in our hearts and minds is God expressing itself within the garment of form. As we feel this presence more and more, we hear the song of joy deep within. Always when we are still, we hear the song of life pouring through our consciousnesses. When we are still, we have only to listen, for it is always there. I love that. I still hear the song of life when I am still. With this knowledge, this assurance that loving presence is always here, closer to me than breathing, nearer than hands and feet, I have nothing to fear. We have nothing to fear. We feel this loving protection around us, and we know that it is a bulwark of strength. We know that it is not only a song of joy, but a song of love and protection. Knowing this, we are the very essence of God. Joy wells up within our hearts, and life sings through us in radiant ecstasy. So when I read Song of Joy, Song of Love and Protection, I mean, that's not necessarily a literal song per se. It's a vibration. Music is vibration. Speaking is vibration. So let us consider Song of Joy, that we're vibrating at the resonance of joy and love and protection. And so it is. Thank you, Ernest. For a lot of people, the times that we're in are forcing people into a spiritual practice and finding spiritual strength and grounding. Because when the physical world fails and is not looking too good, here's the other thing that's happening. A lot of people turn to the higher power. All right, so as we do every day off the ledge, we will listen to the wonderful Kathy Beale, who's back in New Jersey now. I bet she'll come back to Massachusetts in the near future. I'm just looking for today's forecast. So really activate today. Do what you feel is most appropriate. During these times, you can call your representative and ask for investigations, further investigations into these people that have been appointed to positions that they have no business being in. Okay, I promised you the astrology report, now I'm looking for it. Today is the 15th, and here we go.
This is Kathy Beale of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro Insight for May 15th, 2025. Today has a kind of a paying the piper vibe, or chickens coming home to roost vibe. Not necessarily a bad thing if you've been adulting. If you've been putting your big kids' pants on, things ought to go pretty well. That may be what you find yourself needing to do to get through the day. That's definitely the attire this evening. Big kid pants, sorry. Moving into what do I need to take care of? I'm the daddy mode for everybody. That's all for now.
Yeah, and that's really appropriate. It's really in alignment with what I was just saying. We're in a time that we really need to take what's going on really seriously and not just be childlike in the sense of, oh, somebody else will handle it. That's how we got into this mess. That's a big part of it. Somebody else will do it. We're all guilty of that. I don't care who you are. All right, 3 cards from the Osho deck. Today, a little bit later, I'll record a PNN pop-up. There's so much news that I need to do extra videos, and the extra videos also help me to stay afloat financially. There's ads at the beginning and at the end if you don't subscribe to YouTube commercial free, which I do. It's worth the monthly amount. So I'll do a PNN pop-up, and then tonight we have a guided meditation for a healed America. We do that right here, live streamed, 7 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And one more thing is, if you'd like to receive the declarations that many of us are doing, we're reciting them on our own at 12 noon Eastern Time daily. Send me an email, AnnetteDion7@gmail.com, and I'll get those to you. 3 cards for today. For spiritual guidance for today. Let your spiritual practice, your spiritual knowing, guide you. It's the most powerful thing we have. And integrate it. In order to deal with the stress, we have to integrate the spiritual And let me just explain that. I'm not talking about like your religion, and I think most of you know that. The spiritual meaning that there's a spiritual realm that's coexisting with us, and we can integrate it. We can weave it into our lives. It can be woven into the fabric of our lives. You can think of it like strands of light woven into everything. Every behavior that you do, everything that you do throughout the course of the day. You are connected with a spiritual dimension. So that's what I get from the integration. This is what helps us deal with the stress, like I was just saying. And we need that in order to be effective revolutionaries. We need to appeal to the higher power. And speaking of revolutionaries, you know that the soldiers who fought in the American Revolution, they were very tied into a belief in a higher power. I'm sure they prayed all the time. So the rebel that has awareness that their cause is a high calling and integrates that, it helps with the level of stress when the only thing to do is to get in the battle and fight the good fight, for especially for people that have less than and that are at a disadvantage, which could be any one of us at any moment of time, but for the grace of God, right? So we are standing up for, with the spiritual higher power integrated, we're standing up to the stress that they're causing by fighting back. Get that rebellious spirit happening, just like Kathy Bale's astrology forecast for today. This is the thing. We have to kind of grow ourselves up in many, many, many ways. And, you know, per her astrology forecast today, the one I just played for you, it's time for us to really be spiritually mature. I'm saying all of this for me also, as a nation. And let's hope and pray and intend that those in the media get the message. One more thing I just want to mention is it's interesting and disturbing that the news is making a big hullabaloo. I don't watch mainstream media, but I've caught little hints. All this hullabaloo, where rather than talking about the catastrophe that we're in with Dumpy, they're making a big deal out of all these lies, all these false stories that Joe Biden wasn't competent. All you have to do is look at where we were with Joe Biden, strongest economy in the world, the envy of the world, brought us out of the pandemic. I don't care if he was in a wheelchair, the country was in better shape. And it's lies. So let's reconvene later. Plan to join us tonight at 7. Please know that when you share my videos, if they're helpful to you and you feel that you want to share them, when you share my videos, it helps everything. So thank you so much. Leave a comment. We'll see you soon. Namaste.